and welcome back to our channel. Today we have another video for you all about how to make goals. So in this video we're going to be showing you how to write goals that will be great to help you through the year.
And since it is for the new year, we thought it would be fitting since it is now 2018. And so we will just be taking you through the step-by-step process. So without further ado, let's just get right on into it. The first step in setting your goals is to reflect on the past year, or just reflect on what has happened that you want to start setting goals for. So in doing this, you have to make sure that you write down and reflect on the good things that happened that you want to keep the same, and the things that you would like to improve on. So maybe you could write down what you accomplished, like say you joined a club, or maybe you won an award, but you also want to write down things that didn't go well and that you know you need to improve on, such as maybe getting a bad grade in a class or procrastinating. And this can just be a list, or you could just think about it, but writing it down really helps to materialize what you're thinking. So I would recommend writing this down while you do step one. Then the next step is to brainstorm any ideas for improvement. I personally think the best way to do this is just to write it all onto a list, but you could also try methods of mind mapping. So now that you have all the things that you want to improve on, or the things that you've accomplished from the previous step, you can write ways that you can either keep doing what you're doing or improve on other things. So say you want to read more books, one of the things you could write down is to read at least 3 books a month. Or say that you got a 4.0 and you want to keep a 4.0, one of the things you could write down is that you want to continue studying how much you have been studying in the past.
So step number 3 is to think of long-term goals and break them down into goals that have a shorter scope. So first, you should write a big goal with using the SMART method, which stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. And these goals should be for at least 1 year and could be as long as 3 or 5 years, just to make sure that it's a big thing that you really have your heart set on, so you'll be more focused. And then you should write smaller things using a brainstorming process and write down things that will add up to your large goal, so that you have specific little tasks that you can do to get closer to your goal. And using this process will ensure that you can stay focused on the goal throughout the entire term of your goal, and so that you don't just get it done in one day and then have nothing to do and get unmotivated for the rest of your time. So having small tasks will keep you motivated for the entire time.
Next, step number 4 is to develop a way to track your goals and a way to keep yourself accountable. A lot of the times when people make their New Year's resolutions, they just keep their goals in their head, and then that is one of the reasons they often end up giving up on their goal. When you write it down, it is easier for your mind to visualize it, and since you've taken the time to write it down, it tells your mind that you have already set time aside for this, and this is something that you really want to prioritize and something you really want to do. So one of the best ways to do it is to make a 2018 goal sheet and just compile everything you've done in the previous steps here. So as we said in step 3, make sure you differentiate between the long-term goals and the short-term goals. So on this piece of paper, you could write out a long-term goal, and then underneath it, just make sure you write out all the short-term goals you plan on using to accomplish that long-term goal. And then for every short-term goal, make sure to set a date or an amount in order to give yourself a deadline. For example, say your long-term goal is to read more books, then one of your short-term goals could be to read a specific amount of books in January. So you could say, oh, I'll read 3 books in January, and that is a way to measure if you've actually accomplished that short-term goal. And then in February, you could read 4 books, and so on. So making sure that you set a deadline is very imperative, because that helps you accomplish those long-term goals. Step
number 5 is to continue to reflect and evolve your goals. So you should not think of your goals as fixed. Your life is a journey, and I know that's really cliched, but it's true. And so you don't want your goals to be constant. They need to change with your life. And so if your life is changing, then your goals should change too. So if your goal no longer applies to you or becomes something that you don't want to do, you should feel free to revise it and don't just stick with it just because you wrote it at the beginning of the year. And if your goal is completed too early, you might consider making it harder. Or also, if your goal becomes too overwhelming and it's stressing you out too much, then you should consider easing up on it a bit to keep yourself sane. And ultimately, it just comes down to the fact that you need to know yourself and what you can handle, and your goals need to reflect that.
Thank you all so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video, and we also both hope that you can utilize some of the things that you learned in order to make 2018 an amazing year. We hope that you can set yourself goals and accomplish everything that you want.
If you did end up enjoying this video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel so you never miss a video. We upload new videos every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, so be sure to tune in for that next week, and we hope you all have a great week. Bye!